I remember being at a party when I was just a child. And as a child, I really didn't have much. I do come from very humble beginnings. But anyway, it was one of those parties where all the children get goodie bags, you know the sort. And I might be poor, but I'm well mannered. And I wait until I'm home before I open my bag. And it was a toy, but not just any toy. It was an action man with a gripping hand and a roving eye. Actually, that's not true. I made that bit up. But seriously, this was an action man. And for a goodie bag, a very generous gift indeed. I don't know if people even had phones in those days. We certainly didn't. But maybe half an hour or so after I got home, the parents of the child whose birthday it was came round. There's been a terrible mistake. Angus got the wrong gift and I had to give it back. I was devastated. The point is this. We live in a world, a first world privileged world, where we have been gifted things, a way of life that is not ours to have, yet we keep taking it and there is not enough to go around. I'm not suggesting that we become like the High Sparrow in the Game of Thrones, but we are seriously abusing our first world privilege. Bottled water, food waste, SUVs, fast fashion, smoking, consumerism, our meat-based diet, helium balloons, single-use plastic, plastic bags, single-use batteries, brand devotion, what the hell is that about? And our throwaway culture. If everyone on the planet enjoyed even half of your standard of living, and mine as well, consumerism, we would be well and truly screwed already. Seriously, I am not asking you to give your action man back. I'm simply asking that you don't replace him every couple of years. And when or if he ever breaks, you get him fixed. And when you are finally bored with him and you feel it's time to put away these childish things, that you give him to a good home or a charity shop. This channel is really about my efforts to metaphorically do just that and to encourage others to do the same. For me, it all started properly in July last year when I attempted to do Plastic Free July and failed miserably. I came away from it, well, angry, and have since then been producing weekly videos on corporate greenwashing and tips on sustainable living as I document my own struggle to reduce my carbon footprint through irreverent weekly rants on my aptly named YouTube channel, Why Aren't People Angry About This? But seriously, you do not have to give your action man back. That is not what this channel is about. But if I can persuade one person a week to give up bottled water or to stop letting off helium balloons, then, you know, my job is done. So what I've done, I've kind of broken down my videos into seasons, with each season having 9 episodes each. And at the end of each season, which is now, I do a quick synopsis of each episode. So unless you have watched all of my videos, this is a good place to start to get a quick fire look at my channel and what it's all about, and gives you a chance to pick which videos you would want to see in full. So coming up, we have Fiji water, too good for the people of Fiji, palm oil, the wonder fruit destroyed by corporate greed, food waste and why we are nearly all guilty, bamboo fabric, is it green, helium balloons, well you just can't, the environmental cost of smoking, overconsumption, a first world problem, almond milk, we need to talk about almond milk, and no football on a dead planet, and finally the why aren't people angry about this postbag. So let's get started. So with no further ado, season 4 episode 1, Fiji water. This is the 3rd video I put together on the subject of bottled water, and I will be doing more, and there's a link to that playlist just here if you want to see them more. In Fiji, 1 in 10 people do not have access to clean drinking water, yet the wonderful company, that's the company that owns Fiji water and indeed Fiji's water, are selling what they do have as premium water to presidents and celebrities in America and Europe. Do I need to say more? Actually, I do. I say a lot more, and here's a clip. This is all okay because Fiji water are in a league of their own when it comes to greenwashing, and nobody can really believe they are not the second coming of Christ. Although they rather messed up in 2006 when they ran an advertising campaign that said, and I quote, "The label says Fiji because it's not bottled in Cleveland." Now clearly the good folk of Cleveland were not that happy about having their perfectly good 0 air miles water rubbished by the wonderful company. Every time I say the wonderful company, it sounds more and more absurd. But anyway, the Cleveland Water Department ran tests comparing a bottle of Fiji water to Cleveland tap water and some other national bottle brands. Fiji water reportedly contained 6.31 micrograms of arsenic per litre, whereas the tap water from Cleveland contained none. So here we go. Season 4, Episode 2, Palm Oil. Here I make the tenuous connection between palm oil and your common or garden bicycle. But this video again is about corporate greed and how it's destroyed the real potential of this wonder fruit. And it's worth a look. Here's a short clip. Its true potential as a wonder fruit and its application in probably about 50% of the products you currently have in your own home. Everything from soap, chocolate, potato chips, crisps, shampoo, bread, toothpaste, lipstick, ice cream, biscuits, cooking oil, margarine, pizza dough, instant noodles, twiglets and biofuels. And it has a yield per acre that dwarfs other vegetable oils. Season 4, Episode 3, Food Waste. We all think it's somebody else's problem, but we are all a little bit guilty. And thinking it's somebody else's problem is dangerous because we all have a part to play. Anyway, here's the clip. It is a sell-by date, not a use-by date. You don't have to throw it out because the sell-by date was yesterday. Really, you don't. And then, of course, there are your vegetables, which if you buy them from a supermarket, they invariably come A, in a plastic bag, and B, consequently, in a minimum amount. So food waste is a massive problem. Food waste alone is responsible for around 10% of greenhouse emissions. That is 5 times as much as aviation and about the same as road transport. It's big, it's very, very big. So you are probably not better than the average driver, and you can make changes by doing any of the following. 10% of the world's carbon emissions. That's huge, actually. Anyway, here we go. Season 4, Episode 4, Bamboo Fabric. This was a really interesting subject to research, and if you truly want to know whether your bamboo socks are green, it is worth a watch, with some interesting panda trivia thrown in. Anyway, here's the clip. But how do you turn a 30 metre by 30 centimetre piece of steel, stronger than steel, into a pair of socks? And this is where the trouble starts, so listen carefully, because if you are buying bamboo to be green, there are 3 different levels of green. And whilst there are some real issues here with the production process, the finished products do all share one very green attribute, which I will share at the end of this segment, so stick with me. Let's start with the most common bamboo fabric and the least environmentally friendly. Season 4, Episode 5, Helium Balloons. This was really fascinating. You think you know stuff and then you start researching these videos and you find out a lot more. And it was a lot of research on this one, but I could not have put the entire thing together without the amazing people from balloonsblow.org. And I will put a link in the description, so do check those guys out. They do an amazing work. But once you've watched this, you will see helium balloons in a new light, and it's not a good one. Anyway, here's the clip. 10 hours. That is how long your average helium balloon will float for. And when it lands, it has a 71% chance of landing on water, where it will either join the great garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean, be washed up ashore somewhere, or be mistaken for food by seabirds, sea turtles, fish, dolphins, whales, or some other hapless mammal that will then go on to die some horrible, painful death or suffocate. And a 29% chance of it coming down on land, where it can adorn our countryside and play havoc with wildlife there. But seriously, helium balloons are evil. Season 4, Episode 6, Smoking Kills. We are so focused on the self-destructive nature of smoking that we tend to lose sight of the fact that it is so bad for the environment. This admittedly self-indulgent video was put together as a direct result of my older brother suffering a heart attack, the cause of which we think is smoking. Honestly, smoking, when you smoke, you are not the only victim. So anyway, here's a clip. So today I'm going to be talking about smoking because it is not just a self-destructive habit. There is a real cost to the environment in each of growing, production, use and disposal of tobacco and cigarettes. There's also a huge cost and burden on society from diseases caused by smoking. But one of the worst parts of it for me is that the tobacco industry practically invented greenwashing, or at least the template for it. That persuaded a generation, well more than a generation, that smoking was good, and how that has become the playbook for almost every toxic industry on the planet ever since. So smoking, it's not just bad for you, it's bad for the planet. And when things go wrong, it's really bad and tough on your loved ones and your friends too. So let's move on. Season 4, Episode 7, Consumerism. Our first world way of life is entirely dependent on an unfair distribution of the Earth's limited resources. Our overconsumption is out of control. Anyway, it's all in the video. So here's a clip. We don't know we've been born. A Krups coffee maker, a Helium toaster, a coffee bean grinder, a NASA microwave, a Britney Spears double oven and a 6-burner hob, a waste disposal unit so you don't even have to look at the food as you throw it away, a Gucci dishwasher, a Hattori Hanzo electric carving knife, one of those little parmesan graters you see in restaurants that you can never find when you actually need it, the Bordeaux limited edition electric corkscrew for knobs, a Mike Tyson sandwich toaster, a Zebedee slow cooker that we're always in too much of a hurry to actually use. Is there a fast setting? And of course, the pair of Jimmy Choo battery-powered salt and pepper grinders with the little lights that you can season your chicken tikka masala from the Star of India, even in the event of a power cut. We have never had it so good. But you have to understand, and please tell me you understand, that the world's resources do not give enough for all 7.5 billion people on the planet to enjoy anywhere near this sickening standard of living. But seriously, we can all live without a Gucci toaster. But let's move on. This is season 4, episode 8, and this is almond milk. And it's the go-to choice for the planet-loving vegan. You may love the planet, but the almond industry does not love the planet. Here's the clip. But let's get back to the water issue again and link it to the bees and the local people. First, it requires almost an entire gallon of water to grow a single almond in an area that has an increasingly more serious shortage of drinking water. Almost a gallon of water for each almond. That's nuts, and indeed a fact. But here is the double whammy, and let's link this all together. Because of the ridiculous amounts of pesticides required to grow almonds on an industrial scale, the pesticides are finding their way into the already depleted local water source. That's your drinking water if you live in California. Right, season 4, episode 9, No Football on a Dead Planet. This was kind of inspired by the European Super League, where I attempt to link greed over sport with greed over green. Actually, at the time of recording this, which I mean now, the video has not actually been released. But so I think I make a good point, but I hadn't had any feedback yet. But anyway, here's a clip. It is the same big business that is running oil, petrol, cars, fashion, industrial farming, abattoirs, Nestle, Coca-Cola, bottled water, pointless brands and pointless consumerism. They do not have your best interests at heart. They don't have my best interests at heart. They don't have the Earth's best interests at heart. Look, these footballers have enough money so they can keep their greed without destroying the sport. Although there is something seriously obscene with earning 74 times more than the average guy just because you can kick a bag of wind around better than someone else. Thank you for watching, and you can check out any of these videos in the description below where there will be links to all of them. But please do stick around for the Why Aren't People Angry About This postbag, which I'll be replacing next season with
Ask Angus,
where I'll be answering your questions directly. So please feel free to drop any questions you have into the comments section and I'll do my best to answer them. But sensible questions only, please. But in the meantime, if you care about this stuff, please do share this video and subscribe to my channel. It really does help me in spreading the word, and I do appreciate every single subscriber and every comment. Obviously some more than others. And don't forget to stroke the like button. Coming up next is the postbag. So this is the why aren't people angry about this Postbag, and this this guy today is very, very angry. But I have to tell you, this is going to be the last Postbag for a while, because we're going to do something new for the next season, which is Ask Angus. And I have to tell you that the reason for doing this is not shortage of material. That much I will tell you. But I have had lots of questions, and I think it would be a really interesting way to move forward for the next season. So anyway, so this week's offering comes from Mitch from Dallas in Texas, and Mitch apparently is married to Lucy. So anyway, this is what Mitch has to say. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to shout the words in capitals, because that's what you're supposed to do. Shouty, isn't it? Anyways, here we go. Twat! White Indo-Europeans evolved into 8% of the world's population because of milk and milk products, blood and meat, made us into the most resourceful humans on the planet, from the Sumai in Finland, the Mongols to the Swiss and the Maasai. Milk is the dietary element that, when combined with meat, has the lowest levels of heart disease and cancer out of any other group. Give up whatever you want, but don't pretend it's because of science. Which was nice.